Welcome, gentle soul, to the sleepy knowledge, a quiet place where curiosity is never hurried, and science is a soft companion at your bedside. Here, the world slows down. The day's noise fades, and you are invited to rest, to wonder, and to own. Let your mind drift on gentle tides of understanding. Tonight, we turn our attention inward, to the mysterious world of sleep, the place where your body seeks renewal, yet sometimes leaves you waking with a weight you can't quite name. Why do? You sometimes rise from a full night's rest still feeling tired, as if a night's promise was only half kept. Let's wander together, softly and without rush, through the hidden landscapes of your sleeping self. With each chapter, we'll explore the science behind your nightly journey, not with cold facts, but with warmth, story, and a sense of gentle discovery. So settle in, let your breath slow, and allow yourself to be carried by curiosity. This is your time. This is your space. Let's begin. There is a hush that settles over the world as night falls, a quieting of the day's bright edges, a softening of the air. You feel it in the way the light dims, in the way your body seems to exhale, as if it too is relieved to let go of the day's weight. The world outside your window grows still, and within you, a different kind of stillness begins to bloom, a gentle invitation, whispered not in words, but in sensation. Sleep does not arrive all at once. It is not a door that swings open, but a path that winds through the landscape of your mind and body. You may notice the first signs as a heaviness in your eyelids, a slow drift of your thoughts, a sense that the world is growing softer around the edges. This is the invitation, subtle, persistent, and deeply familiar. It is the body's way of saying, come, rest now, let go. You might remember how, as a child, sleep would find you almost without effort. The day would end, and you would tumble into bed, the world of dreams waiting just beyond the closing of your eyes. Now, as an adult, the invitation is still there, but it can feel more complicated. The mind is busier, the body more aware of its aches and tensions. Yet, beneath it all, the ancient rhythm remains, the gentle pull toward rest, the promise of renewal. As you lie in bed, you may notice the way your breath changes. It slows, deepens, becomes a quiet tide moving in and out. Your heart, too, finds a slower rhythm, as if it is listening for the signal that it is safe to let go. The muscles in your body, so often tense and ready for action, begin to release their grip. There is a sense of sinking, of being held by the mattress, of the world narrowing to the small, safe space you occupy. This is the threshold, the place where wakefulness and sleep meet. It is a liminal space, neither here nor there, where the boundaries of self begin to blur. Thoughts drift in and out, sometimes clear, sometimes dissolving before you can catch them. You may feel as if you are floating, untethered from the concerns of the day. This is not yet sleep, but it is the beginning, a gentle invitation that precedes the journey. The science of this moment is as beautiful as the feeling itself. Deep within your brain, a cascade of changes is taking place. The suprachiasmatic nucleus, a tiny cluster of cells in the hypothalamus, has been tracking the fading light, sending signals that it is time to prepare for rest. Melatonin, the so-called sleep hormone, begins to rise in your bloodstream, its presence a quiet signal to every cell. The day is ending, the night is here, your body temperature drops, just a little, as if you are drawing a blanket of coolness around yourself. Blood pressure lowers, muscles relax, and the senses begin to withdraw from the world. The chatter of the mind grows softer, replaced by a gentle hum of background thoughts. It is as if your entire being is turning inward, preparing for the journey ahead. Yet, for all its familiarity, this invitation to sleep is not always easy to accept. There are nights when the mind resists, clinging to worries or replaying the day's events. There are nights when the body aches or when the world outside refuses to quiet down. Still, the invitation remains, patient and persistent, waiting for you to find your way back to it. You might notice how rituals help to smooth the path. The simple act of dimming the lights, of changing into soft clothes, of pulling back the covers, these are signals to your body and mind that it is time to let go. The scent of clean sheets, the gentle weight of a blanket, the familiar creak of the bed frame, all these small comforts become part of the invitation, guiding you toward rest. There is a kind of wisdom in these rituals, a recognition that sleep is not something to be forced, but something to be welcomed. You cannot command yourself to sleep any more than you can order a flower to bloom. Instead, you create the conditions, you make space, and you wait for the invitation to be accepted. As you settle in, you may find your thoughts wandering, not with the sharpness of daytime focus, but with a dreamy, meandering quality. Memories surface, sometimes clear, sometimes blurred at the edges. You might recall a moment from childhood, the sound of rain on the roof, the feeling of being safe and small. Or you might find yourself imagining places you have never been, landscapes that exist only in the half-light of your mind. This drifting is part of the invitation, too. It is the mind's way of loosening its grip, of letting go of the need to control. In this state, you are both present and absent, aware, and yet already slipping away. The boundaries between self and world, between now and then, begin to dissolve. The body, too, is preparing. Deep within your muscles, tiny fibers relax, releasing the tension that is built up over the day. Your heart beats more slowly, your breath becomes even and regular. The digestive system, so busy during the day, slows its work, allowing energy to be redirected toward repair and renewal. Every system in your body is shifting gears, moving from the alertness of wakefulness to the quiet work of sleep. There is a sense of trust in this process, a surrender to something larger than yourself. You do not have to understand every detail or control every moment. You simply allow yourself to be carried, to be held by the rhythms of your own biology. Sleep is not a task to be accomplished, but a gift to be received. Sometimes, the invitation is accompanied by a sense of vulnerability. To sleep is to let go of control, to trust that the world will keep turning while you rest. It is an act of faith, a willingness to be unguarded, to allow yourself to be cared for by forces you cannot see. This vulnerability is not a weakness, but a strength, a recognition that you are part of a larger web of life, connected to every other creature that sleeps beneath the same sky. As you lie in the darkness, you may notice the way your senses shift. Sounds become softer, more distant. The ticking of a clock, the hum of a distant car, the gentle rustle of leaves outside your window, all these noises blend into a soothing background, a lullaby for your mind. The world narrows to the small circle of your own breath, the gentle rise and fall of your chest. In this quiet, you may find a sense of peace that is hard to come by during the day. The worries that seem so urgent begin to lose their sharpness, fading into the background. The body, no longer required to be vigilant, can finally rest. The mind, freed from the need to solve and plan, can wander where it will. This is the heart of the invitation, the chance to let go, to be held, to be renewed. It is a return to something ancient and essential, a rhythm that has shaped your life from the very beginning. Every creature on earth, from the smallest insect to the largest whale, answers this same call. Sleep is the great equalizer, the nightly return to the source. You may wonder why this invitation, so natural and necessary, can sometimes feel elusive. Why, after a long day, does sleep sometimes hold back, just out of reach? The answer is as complex as it is simple. Sleep is not just a biological process, but a dance between body, mind, and environment. It is shaped by your habits, your thoughts, your surroundings, and even the stories you tell yourself about what it means to rest. There are nights when the invitation is clear and strong, and you slip into sleep almost without noticing. There are other nights when it feels distant, muffled by noise or worry or discomfort. Yet even on those nights, the invitation is still there, waiting for you to find your way back. You might find comfort in the knowledge that sleep is not a test you can fail. There is no perfect way to accept the invitation, no single path that leads to rest. Each night is different, shaped by the unique circumstances of your day, your body, your mind. What matters is not how quickly you fall asleep, but that you allow yourself the chance to rest, to be gentle with yourself, to trust in the process. As you lie in the darkness, you may notice the way your thoughts begin to slow, the way your body feels heavier, more grounded. You are being drawn inward, toward the quiet center of yourself. The world outside fades, and you are left with the simple, profound experience of being alive, of being at rest. This is the gentle invitation of sleep, a call to return to yourself, to let go of the day, to trust in the wisdom of your own body. It is a journey that begins anew each night, a path that leads not just to rest, but to renewal. And as you drift at the edge of sleep, you may sense that this invitation is not just for your body, but for your mind and spirit as well. It is a chance to reconnect with the deepest parts of yourself, to remember what it feels like to be cared for, to be safe, to be whole. The night stretches out before you, quiet and full of promise. The invitation has been given. All that remains is to accept, to let yourself be carried, to trust in the gentle wisdom of sleep. As you settle into the quiet embrace of night, the invitation of sleep becomes something more a journey inward, a passage through hidden chambers that make up the architecture of your rest. Sleep is not a single, unbroken stretch of darkness, but a landscape with its own hills and valleys, its own secret rooms and winding corridors. Each night, you travel through this architecture, often without knowing the shape of the path beneath your feet. The first moments after you drift away are gentle, almost imperceptible. You slip from the waking world into a light doze, a place where thoughts still flutter at the edges, but the body has begun to surrender. This is the threshold, the entryway to the house of sleep. Here, your senses grow dim, and the world outside your eyelids becomes distant. As if you are watching it through a veil. In this early stage, your brain hums with a quiet activity. The patterns of your thoughts are still recognizable, but they begin to loosen, to unravel. You may feel as if you are floating, or as if your body is growing heavier, sinking into the mattress. This is the first room in the architecture of your night, a place of gentle transition, where the boundaries between waking and sleeping are soft and shifting. As you move deeper, the architecture changes. The light doze gives way to a deeper, more restful state. Your muscles relax further, your heartbeat slows, and your breathing becomes steady and rhythmic. The world of dreams is still distant, but your body is already hard at work, repairing and restoring itself. This is the foundation of your night, the place where true rest begins. Within this architecture, there are cycles patterns that repeat, each with its own purpose. Sleep is not a straight line, but a series of loops, each one carrying you through different rooms of the night. Scientists call these cycles sleep stages, and each stage has its own character, its own role in the story of your rest. The first stage is light and fleeting, a gentle descent. The second is deeper, a place where your body truly lets go. Here, your temperature drops, your heart rate slows, and your brain begins to produce slow, rolling waves of activity. This is the room where your body repairs itself, where cells are renewed and energy is restored. But the architecture of a night holds more than just rest. There is a room where dreams are born, a place where the mind becomes a theater of images and stories. This is the stage known as REM sleep rapid eye, movement at time when your brain is almost as active as it is during the day. Your eyes dart beneath closed lids, your muscles are temporarily paralyzed, and your mind weaves together memories, emotions, and fragments of experience into the tapestry of dreams. The cycles of sleep repeat, each one carrying you through these rooms in a gentle rhythm. A typical night holds 4 or 5 of these cycles, each lasting about 90 minutes. You move from light sleep to deep sleep, then into REM and back again. The architecture is dynamic, shifting as the night unfolds. Early in the night, deep sleep dominates, giving your body the time it needs to heal and restore. Later, REM sleep becomes more prominent, allowing your mind to process and integrate the events of the day. You may not remember these journeys, but your body and mind are shaped by them. The architecture of your night is as unique as your fingerprint, influenced by your age, your health, your habits, and even the stories you carry with you into sleep. Some nights, the cycles are smooth and unbroken, and you wake feeling refreshed. Other nights, the architecture is disrupted by noise, by worry, by the simple unpredictability of being human. There is a quiet intelligence in this design, a wisdom that has evolved over millions of years. Each stage of sleep serves a purpose, each cycle a chance for renewal. Deep sleep is the time for physical repair, for the release of growth hormone, for the strengthening of the immune system. REM sleep is the time for emotional processing, for the consolidation of memories, for the quiet sorting of thoughts and feelings. As you move through the architecture of your night, your body and mind are engaged in a delicate dance. The boundaries between the stages are not always clear, and you may drift back and forth, lingering in one room before moving to the next. Sometimes you wake briefly, only to slip back into sleep without remembering the interruption. These awakenings are natural, part of the ebb and flow of the night. The architecture of sleep is not fixed. It changes as you do. In childhood, deep sleep is abundant, and dreams are vivid and wild. As you grow older, the balance shifts deep. Sleep becomes more elusive, and the cycles of REM and light sleep take on new importance. Illness, stress, and the passage of time all leave their mark on the architecture of your night, shaping the way you move through its rooms. You may notice how your own nights have changed over the years. Perhaps you fall asleep more easily than you once did, or perhaps you find yourself waking more often. The architecture of your night more fragmented than before. These changes are natural, a reflection of the shifting needs of your body and mind. The architecture adapts, always seeking balance, always working to restore you. There is comfort in knowing that sleep is not a static thing, but a living process. House that is rebuilt each night, shaped by the rhythms of your life. The architecture is resilient, capable of repair and renewal, even after nights of disruption. Your body remembers how to sleep, even when you have forgotten. The invitation is always there, waiting for you to return. As you lie in the darkness, you may become aware of the subtle shifts in your own sleep, the way your breath changes, the way your dreams come and go, the way you wake in the morning with a sense of having traveled somewhere deep and mysterious. The architecture of your night is both familiar and strange, a place you visit every day, yet never fully understand. You might imagine your night as a journey through a great silent house. Each room holds its own secrets, its own gifts. In one room, your body is healed. In another, your mind is set free to wander. The corridors between the rooms are long and winding, and sometimes you lose your way. But always there is a path forward, a gentle movement from one stage to the next. The architecture of sleep is not just a matter of biology, but of experience. The stories you tell yourself about sleep, the rituals you keep, the worries you carry, the hopes you hold are all part of the design. You shape your own house of sleep, brick by brick, night by night. There are nights when the architecture feels fragile, when the walls seem thin and the room's too small. On these nights, you may wake often, your mind restless, your body unable to settle. Yet even in these moments, the architecture holds. The cycles continue, the invitation remains. Sleep is patient, always ready to welcome you back. You may find that certain habits help to strengthen the architecture of your night. A regular bedtime, a quiet room, a gentle winding down, these are the foundations on which good sleep is built. The body responds to rhythm, to predictability, to the comfort of routine. Each night, you lay the groundwork for the journey ahead, shaping the architecture with your choices. The architecture of sleep is also shaped by the world around you. The light that filters through your window, the sounds that drift in from the street, the temperature of your room, all these elements become part of the design. Your body is attuned to these cues, responding to the environment in ways both subtle and profound. As you move through the night, you may notice the way your dreams change, the way your body feels different in each stage. In deep sleep, you are anchored, grounded, held by the weight of your own body. In REM, you are light, unbound, free to explore the landscapes of your mind. The architecture is flexible, accommodating the shifting needs of your body and spirit. There is a beauty in this complexity, a sense of wonder in the way your body and mind work together to create the architecture of your night. Each stage is a room with its own purpose, its own gifts. Together, they form a house of rest, a sanctuary where you can be renewed. You may never see the architecture of your night, but you feel its effects each morning. The quality of your sleep shapes the quality of your days, influencing your mood, your energy, your ability to meet the world with openness and curiosity. The architecture is invisible, but its impact is profound. As you lie in the quiet, you may sense the gentle movement of the cycles, the way your body and mind are carried through the night. There is a rhythm here, a pattern that repeats, a dance that has been unfolding for as long as you have been alive. The architecture of your night is both ancient and new, shaped by the needs of your body and the mysteries of your mind. In this house of sleep, you are both guest and architect, both traveler and guide. Each night, you return to its rooms, finding rest, renewal, and the quiet promise of another day. Within the quiet architecture of your night, there is a hidden music playing, a silent symphony that shapes your journey through sleep. This music is not heard with the ears, but felt in the deepest parts of your being. It is the language of brainwaves, the gentle rise and fall of electrical rhythms that guide you from one room of sleep to the next. As you lie in the darkness, your mind is never truly still. Even in the deepest rest, your brain is alive with activity, sending signals that ripple through the vast network of your nervous system. These signals are the language your brain uses to communicate with itself, a language written in waves, slow and rolling, quick and sharp, each with its own meaning and purpose. When you are awake, your brain hums with the fast, busy patterns of beta waves. These are the rhythms of thought and focus, the electrical signature of a mind engaged with the world. But as you begin to drift toward sleep, the music changes. The beta waves give way to alpha, a slower, more relaxed rhythm that signals the approach of rest. You may feel this shift as a sense of calm, a softening of the edges of your awareness, a gentle letting go. The transition from wakefulness to sleep is marked by the appearance of theta waves, gentle, undulating patterns that carry you across the threshold. In this state, your thoughts become dreamlike. Your sense of time and place begins to blur. You are neither fully awake nor fully asleep, but somewhere in between, floating on the currents of your own mind. As you move deeper into sleep, the waves slow even further. Delta waves emerge, broad and powerful, sweeping through your brain like a tide. These are the rhythms of deep sleep, the foundation upon which your night is built. In the presence of delta waves, your body is at its most restful, your mind at its most peaceful. It is here, in the depths of delta, that the true work of renewal takes place. The language of brainwaves is not static. It shifts and changes as you move through the cycles of your night. Each stage of sleep has its own signature, its own unique pattern of electrical activity. In light sleep, the waves are mixed and varied, a gentle prelude to the deeper stages. To calm. In deep sleep, delta dominates, bringing with it a sense of stillness and repair. But the most mysterious music of all is found in REM sleep, the stage where dreams are born. Here, the brain's activity becomes almost as lively as it is during the day. The waves are fast and irregular, a complex dance of signals that defies easy explanation. Your eyes move rapidly beneath closed lids, your muscles are stilled, and your mind is set free to wander. In this stage, the boundaries between reality and imagination dissolve, and the language of brainwaves becomes the language of dreams. Scientists have spent decades listening to this silent symphony, using delicate instruments to record the patterns of electrical activity that flow through the sleeping brain. What they have discovered is both simple and profound. The quality of your sleep is shaped by the quality of your brainwaves. When the rhythms are smooth and regular, you wake feeling refreshed and restored. When they are disrupted or fragmented, you may rise feeling tired, as if the night's promise has not been fully kept. The language of brainwaves is shaped by many things: your age, your health, your habits, even the thoughts you carry with you into sleep. Stress and worry can disrupt the rhythms, making it harder for your brain to find the deep restorative patterns it needs. Illness and pain can fragment the waves, scattering the music of your night. Even the light in your room, the sounds that drift in from outside, can influence the language your brain speaks as you sleep. Yet, for all its complexity, the language of brainwaves is also deeply resilient. Your brain is always seeking balance, always working to restore the rhythms that support your rest. Even after a night of poor sleep, the brain will try to make up for lost time, spending more minutes in deep sleep or REM the next time you rest. This is the wisdom of your body, the quiet intelligence that guides you through the night. You may never be aware of the music playing in your brain, but you feel its effects each morning. The clarity of your thoughts, the steadiness of your mood, the energy you bring to the day, all are shaped by the quality of your brainwaves. When the rhythms are strong and steady, you move through the world with ease. When they are disrupted, you may find yourself struggling to focus, to remember, to feel fully awake. There is a kind of poetry in this hidden language, a sense of wonder in the way your brain creates the conditions for rest. Each wave is a message, a signal that guides your body and mind through the architecture of your night. The slow, rolling delta waves are like a lullaby, soothing you into the deepest rest. The quick, lively patterns of REM are like a dance, setting your mind free to explore and create. You might imagine your brain as a great orchestra, each section playing its part in the symphony of sleep. The strings are the slow, steady rhythms of deep rest. The woodwinds are the gentle transitions of light sleep. The brass and percussion are the bursts of activity that mark the world of dreams. Together, they create a music that is both ancient and new, a song that has been playing since the beginning of life. The language of brainwaves is not just a matter of science, but of experience. You feel it in the way your body relaxes as you drift off, in the way your mind wanders through the landscapes of dreams, in the way you wake with a sense of having traveled somewhere deep and mysterious. The music is always there, guiding you through the night, shaping the quality of your rest. Sometimes the rhythms are disrupted. Stress, illness, or the simple unpredictability of life can throw the orchestra out of tune. On these nights, you may wake feeling tired, your mind clouded, your body heavy. Yet even in these moments, the music continues, always seeking to return to harmony. Your brain is resilient, always working to restore the balance that supports. Your rest, you may find that certain habits help to support the language of your brainwaves. A regular bedtime, a quiet room, a gentle winding down, these are the conditions that allow the orchestra to play its best. The body responds to rhythm, to predictability, to the comfort of routine. Each night, you create the conditions for the music to unfold, shaping the quality of your sleep with your choices. The language of brainwaves is also shaped by the world around you. The light that filters through your window, the sounds that drift in from the street, the temperature of your room, all these elements become part of the music. Your brain is attuned to these cues, responding to the environment in ways both subtle and profound. As you move through the night, you may notice the way your dreams change, the way your body feels different in each stage. In deep sleep, you are anchored, grounded, held by the slow rolling waves of delta. In REM, you are light, unbound, carried by the quick, lively rhythms of the dreaming mind. The language is flexible, accommodating the shifting needs of your body and spirit. There is a beauty in this complexity, a sense of wonder in the way your brain creates the conditions for rest. Each wave is a message, a signal that guides your body and mind through the architecture of your night. The slow, rolling delta waves are like a lullaby, soothing you into the deepest rest. The quick, lively patterns of REM are like a dance, setting your mind free to explore and create. You may never see the music playing in your brain, but you feel its effects each morning. The clarity of your thoughts, the steadiness of your mood, the energy you bring to the day, all are shaped by the quality of your brainwaves. When the rhythms are strong and steady, you move through the world with ease. When they are disrupted, you may find yourself struggling to focus, to remember, to feel fully awake. The language of brainwaves is a reminder that sleep is not just a passive state, but an active process, a journey guided by the hidden music of your mind. Each night, you return to this symphony, finding rest, renewal, and the quiet promise of another day. Beneath the surface of your nightly journey, a quiet council gathers. These are the guardians at the gates of sleep, tiny messengers, invisible to the eye, yet powerful enough to shape the entire landscape of your rest. They are your hormones, moving silently through your bloodstream, opening doors and closing them, guiding you through the architecture of the night. As the day fades and the world grows dim, your body begins to listen for a signal. It is not a sound, but a shift, a gentle rise in the levels of melatonin, the hormone that whispers, "It's time." Melatonin is spun from the fading light, crafted in the pineal gland deep within your brain. As darkness falls, this guardian steps forward, its presence a soft invitation to let go, to surrender to the coming night. Melatonin's work is subtle but profound. It does not force sleep upon you, but rather prepares the way, dimming the lights. Within, quieting the chatter, making the world feel softer and more distant. It is the gentle hand that draws the curtains, the hush that settles over a room before a story begins. With melatonin's rise, your body temperature drops, your heart slows, and your mind begins to drift. But melatonin is not alone in this nightly council. There are other guardians, each with their own role to play. Cortisol, often called the stress hormone, is the herald of morning. As dawn approaches, cortisol levels begin to climb, nudging you gently toward wakefulness. It is the signal that the night is ending, that the world is ready to welcome you back. Too much cortisol, though, and the gates of sleep become harder to pass through. Worry, stress, and anxiety can send this guardian into overdrive, making it difficult to find the peace you need to rest. There are other messengers, too, each shaping your night in their own way. Adenosine, a quiet builder, accumulates in your brain throughout the day, creating a gentle pressure that grows stronger with each passing hour. By nightfall, adenosine's presence is a weight, a reminder that rest is needed. As you sleep, this pressure is slowly released, leaving you refreshed by morning-growth hormone. Another silent guardian steps forward during the deepest stages of sleep. Its work is one of repair and renewal, mending the small tears and strains of the day, helping your body to grow and heal. This guardian is most active when you are at your most peaceful, when the slow waves of deep sleep wash over you like a tide. Insulin, leptin, and ghrelin hormones that shape your hunger and fullness also play their part in the nightly council. They help to balance your energy, to ensure that your body has what it needs to rest and repair. When these guardians are in harmony, you wake feeling nourished and strong. When they are out of balance, sleep can feel shallow, and you may rise with cravings that linger long after the sun has risen. The work of these guardians is delicate, a dance of signals and responses that must be carefully timed. Light is their conductor, setting the rhythm for their appearance and retreat. The blue glow of screens, the flicker of streetlights, the gentle dawn at your window, all these cues shape the council's work, telling your body when to rest and when to rise. You may notice how your own habits influence the guardians at the gates. A late-night snack, a cup of coffee in the afternoon, a stressful conversation before bed, each of these can shift the balance, making it easier or harder for the messengers to do their work. The body is sensitive to these signals, always listening, always adjusting. There is a wisdom in this system, a recognition that sleep is not just a matter of closing your eyes, but of creating the right conditions within. The guardians are patient, but they respond to your choices. A regular bedtime, a darkened room, a gentle winding down, these are the offerings that help the council gather, that allow the gates of sleep to open wide. Sometimes the guardians are disrupted. Jet lag, shift work, illness, or the simple unpredictability of life can throw the council into confusion. Melatonin may rise too late, cortisol may linger too long, adenosine may not have built up enough. On these nights, sleep feels elusive, the gates harder to pass through. Yet even then, the guardians do not abandon you. They wait, ready to restore balance when the world allows. You might imagine these hormones as gentle sentinels, standing watch at the threshold of your night. Each one has its own key, its own way of unlocking the doors to rest. Together, they create a system of checks and balances, a network of signals that guide you through the cycles of sleep. The guardians are not just concerned with the night, but with the day as well. The quality of your sleep shapes the work of your hormones, and the work of your hormones shapes the quality of your sleep. It is a circle, a feedback loop, a conversation that never truly ends. When the guardians are in harmony, you move through the world with ease, your energy steady, your mood balanced. When they are out of sync, you may feel tired, irritable, or unwell. There is comfort in knowing that your body is always working on your behalf, even when you are unaware. The guardians at the gates are tireless, always seeking balance, always working to restore the conditions for rest. You can support their work with small acts of kindness, by honoring your need for darkness, by creating rituals that signal the end of the day, by listening to the rhythms of your own body. As you lie in the quiet, you may sense the presence of these guardians, their work unfolding beneath the surface. The gentle rise of melatonin, the slow ebb of cortisol, the steady accumulation of adenosine, all these signals are part of the invitation to sleep, the architecture of your night, the music of your brainwaves. They are the unseen hands that guide you through the journey, the silent counsel that keeps watch as you rest. The guardians at the gates are a reminder that sleep is not a solitary act, but a collaboration, a partnership between body, mind, and the world around you. Each night, you are welcomed by this counsel, guided through the cycles of rest, restored by their careful work. The invitation is always there, the gates always waiting to open, the guardians always ready to lead you home. Within the quiet workings of your body, there is a clock that keeps time not with ticking hands or digital numbers, but with the silent language of light and darkness. This clock is ancient, older than memory, and it lives in every cell quietly, guiding the rhythms of your days and nights. It is the circadian rhythm, the inner timekeeper that shapes your journey through sleep and wakefulness. You may not notice its presence, but you feel its influence in the gentle ebb and flow of your energy and the way your body seems to know when to rise and when to rest. The circadian rhythm is a cycle, roughly 24 hours long, that orchestrates the dance of hormones, temperature, and alertness. It is the conductor of your internal orchestra, setting the tempo for every system, every cell dot at the heart. Of this clock is a tiny cluster of cells deep within your brain, known as the suprachiasmatic nucleus. This small but mighty structure sits just above where your optic nerves cross, perfectly positioned to sense the coming and going of light. Each morning, as sunlight touches your eyes, the suprachiasmatic nucleus receives its cue, resetting the clock and sending signals throughout your body. It is time to wake, to move, to greet the day. Light is the master key, the signal that keeps your inner clock in sync with the world outside. The first rays of dawn, the bright midday sun, the soft glow of evening, all these cues help to anchor your rhythm, to keep your body's time aligned with the turning of the earth. When light is abundant, your body knows it is day. When darkness falls, the clock begins to prepare you for rest. But the circadian rhythm is more than just a response to light. It is a deep internal cycle woven into the fabric of your being. Even in total darkness, your body will continue to keep time, though the rhythm may drift, becoming slightly longer or shorter with each passing day. This inner clock is a legacy of life's long history, a gift from ancestors who learned to live by the rising and setting of the sun. You may notice how your own energy rises and falls with the day. There are moments when you feel alert and focused, ready to take on the world. There are other times when your body calls for rest, when your mind grows quiet and your eyelids grow heavy. These shifts are not random, but part of the circadian dance, a pattern that repeats day after day, night after night. The rhythm is not the same for everyone. Some people are larks, rising easily with the dawn, their energy peaking in the early hours. Others are owls, coming alive as the sun sets, finding their focus in the quiet of the night. Most of us fall somewhere in between, our rhythms shaped by genetics, age, and the demands of daily life. As you move through the day, your circadian clock guides the release of hormones, the rise and fall of body temperature, the timing of hunger and sleepiness. In the morning, cortisol rises, giving you the energy to greet the day. As evening approaches, melatonin begins to flow, signaling that it is time to wind down. Your body temperature drops, your heart rate slows, and the gates of sleep begin to open. The circadian rhythm is not just about sleep and wakefulness. It shapes your mood, your metabolism, your immune system. It influences how you learn, how you heal, how you respond to the world around you. When your rhythm is in sync, you move through life with a sense of ease, your body and mind working together in harmony. But the clock within is sensitive, easily disrupted by the world outside. Artificial light, shift work, travel across time. Zones, all these can throw your rhythm out of sync, leaving you feeling tired, irritable, or unwell. The blue glow of screens, the bright lights of the city, the demands of a busy life can all confuse the inner clock, making it harder to find the deep, restorative sleep you need. You may have felt this disruption yourself, the grogginess of jet lag, the difficulty of falling asleep after a late night, the sluggishness that lingers after a restless evening. These are the signs that your circadian rhythm is struggling to find its footing, that the clock within is searching for its cue. there are ways to support your inner clock to help it keep time with the world outside. Morning light is a powerful ally, helping to reset your rhythm and anchor your day. Stepping outside, even for a few minutes, can send a clear signal to your body. It is time to be awake, to move, to live. In the evening, dimming the lights, turning off screens, and creating a gentle transition to darkness can help your body prepare for rest. Routine is another key. Going to bed and waking up at the same time each day helps to strengthen your rhythm, making it easier to fall asleep and wake refreshed. The body loves predictability, the comfort of knowing what comes next. Each night, as you settle into your rituals, you are sending a message to your inner clock. It is time to rest, to let go, to be renewed. The circadian rhythm is also shaped by what you eat, when you move, and how you spend your days. Meals eaten at regular times, gentle exercise in the daylight hours, moments of quiet and reflection, all these help to anchor your rhythm, to keep your body's time in harmony with the world. There is a beauty in this cycle, a sense of connection to something larger than yourself. The rhythm of your body is a reflection of the rhythm of the earth, the turning of the seasons, the dance of light and dark. Each day, you are part of this ancient pattern, moving in time with the world around you. You may find comfort in the knowledge that your body is always seeking balance, always working to restore harmony. Even when your rhythm is disrupted, the clock within is patient, always ready to find its way back. With gentle care, with small acts of kindness, you can support this process, helping your body to find its natural flow. As you lie in the quiet, you may sense the steady beat of your own rhythm, the gentle rise and fall of energy, the subtle cues that guide you through the day and into the night. The clock within is always ticking, always keeping time, always leading you home. In the architecture of your night, the circadian rhythm is the foundation, the silent guide that shapes your journey. It is the reason you feel sleepy as darkness falls, the reason you wake with the dawn, the reason your body knows when to rest and when to rise. It is the quiet wisdom that lives within you, the ancient timekeeper that connects you to the world. The clock within is a reminder that you are part of a larger story, a cycle that has been unfolding for as long as life has existed. Each night, as you surrender to sleep, you are returning to this rhythm, finding your place in the dance of light and dark, day and night, rest and renewal. Even as the body listens to the ancient clock within, there are nights when the mind refuses to follow. The world outside may be quiet, the room dim and cool, the body heavy with the promise of rest, yet inside, thoughts continue to flicker and spin like fireflies in the dark. The mind, so quick to solve and remember, to plan and replay, sometimes lingers at the threshold of sleep, unwilling to let go. You may know this feeling well, the gentle ache of tiredness in your limbs, the deep, slow rhythm of your breath. And yet, behind closed eyes, a parade of thoughts marches on. Memories from the day, worries about tomorrow, fragments of conversation, flashes of imagination, all swirl together, refusing to settle. The mind, it seems, has its own rhythm, one that does not always match the body's need for rest. This restlessness is a part of being human. The mind is a storyteller, always weaving narratives, always searching for meaning. Even as the body prepares for sleep, the mind may be busy sorting through the events of the day, replaying moments, searching for answers. Sometimes it is a single worry that loops endlessly, a question that will not be silenced. Other times, it is a cascade of images and ideas, each one sparking the next, a chain of thought that stretches into the night. The architecture of your night is shaped not only by hormones and rhythms, but by the landscape of your thoughts. When the mind is calm, the journey into sleep is smooth, a gentle descent into darkness. But when thoughts linger, the path becomes winding, the gates of sleep harder to pass through. The mind, like a restless traveler, paces the corridors of memory and imagination, searching for a place to settle. There is a science to this restlessness, a reason why thoughts can feel so loud in the quiet of night. During the day, your mind is occupied with tasks and distractions, the noise of the world keeping worries at bay. But as the world grows still, the mind is left alone with itself, free to wander where it will. The brain's default mode network, a system that becomes active when you are not focused on the outside world, comes alive, stirring up memories, dreams, and reflections. This network is a double-edged sword. It is the source of creativity and insight, the wellspring of dreams and ideas. But it is also the birthplace of rumination, the tendency to dwell on worries and regrets. In the quiet of night, without the distractions of the day, the mind can become a hall of mirrors, reflecting thoughts back on themselves, amplifying their power. You may notice how certain thoughts return again and again, like old friends or persistent shadows. The mind is drawn to unfinished business, to questions that have not been answered, to feelings that have not been resolved. These lingering thoughts can keep you awake, their presence a gentle but insistent tug at the edge of sleep. There are ways the mind tries to help. Even as it keeps you awake, it replays conversations, searching for the right words. It rehearses tomorrow's plans, hoping to be prepared. It revisits old memories, looking for meaning or closure. The mind is always working, always trying to make sense of the world, even when the body is ready to rest. Sometimes the restlessness is a sign that something needs attention, a worry that needs to be named, a feeling that needs to be felt, a memory that needs to be honored. The mind, in its own way, is asking for care, for understanding, for a gentle touch. Sleep may come more easily when you listen, when you allow yourself to acknowledge what is present, rather than pushing it away. There are gentle practices that can help the restless mind find peace. The simple act of writing down your thoughts before bed, of making a list or keeping a journal, can help to clear the mental clutter. The mind, seeing its worries on paper, may feel free to let them go, at least for the night. Breathing exercises, meditation, or the quiet repetition of a calming phrase can also help to soothe the mind, to create a sense of safety and ease. The environment you create can make a difference, too. A dark, quiet room, free from distractions, can help to signal to the mind that it is time to rest. The gentle weight of a blanket, the soft sound of a fan, the familiar scent of lavender or chamomile, these small comforts can help to anchor the mind, to draw it away from worry and into the present moment. You may find that the mind is most restless when you are trying hardest to sleep. The effort to force rest can backfire, making thoughts even more insistent. Sleep, like a shy animal, cannot be chased. It must be invited, welcomed, allowed to come in its own time. The more you struggle, the more elusive it becomes. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is to let go of the effort, to trust that sleep will come when it is ready. There is a wisdom in accepting the restlessness, in allowing thoughts to come and go without judgment. The mind is doing what it was made to do: think, remember, imagine, feel. You can watch your thoughts as if they are clouds drifting across the sky, noticing them without getting caught up in their stories. With practice, the mind learns that it is safe to let go, that it can rest without losing itself. The restless mind is not an enemy, but a companion on the journey. It is the part of you that cares, that wants to understand, that seeks meaning and connection. Even in its restlessness, there is a longing for peace, for resolution, for rest. By meeting the mind with kindness, by offering it patience and understanding, you create the conditions for sleep to return. As you lie in the quiet, you may notice the way your thoughts begin to slow, the way the edges of your awareness grow soft. The mind, having been heard, begins to settle. The stories lose their urgency, the worries fade into the background. The body, feeling the mind's release, sinks deeper into the mattress. The breath grows slower. The heart finds its steady rhythm. In this gentle surrender, the gates of sleep open once more. The mind, no longer restless, is free to drift, to dream, to be renewed. The journey continues, guided by the rhythms of your body, the wisdom of your hormones, the silent music of your brainwaves. The architecture of your night is shaped not only by biology, but by the landscape of your thoughts, the stories you carry, the feelings you hold. There is comfort in knowing that restlessness is not a failure, but a part of the process. The mind, like the body, has its own needs, its own rhythms, its own way of finding peace. With patience, with kindness, with gentle care, you can help the mind to let go, to find its place in the quiet of the night. As you drift at the edge of sleep, you may sense the lingering presence of your thoughts, like soft echoes in a vast, silent room. They are part of you, but they do not define you. The mind, having done its work, is ready to rest. The night stretches out before you, quiet and full of promise, the invitation to sleep renewed once more. As the mind finally softens its grip, and the last echoes of thought fade into the hush of night, another kind of work quietly begins. While you drift in the gentle currents of sleep, your body is far from idle. Beneath the stillness, a silent shift takes place, a night crew of cells and signals, each with a task, each with a purpose, moving through the darkness to restore, repair, and renew. You may not feel this labor, but it is as real as the beating of your heart. Every night, your body becomes a workshop, a place where the wear and tear of the day is gently undone. Muscles that have carried you, organs that have served you, skin that has shielded you, all are tended to with a care that is both ancient and precise. This is the body's night shift, a time when healing is not just possible, but essential. The work begins deep within your cells. As you sleep, your body releases a cascade of growth hormones, messengers that signal the start of repair, tiny tears in muscle fibers, the result of movement and effort, are mended and made stronger. Bones are fortified, tissues are rebuilt, and the immune system is quietly strengthened, preparing you to face another day. Your skin, too, is renewed in the darkness. The outermost layer, exposed to sun and wind and the touch of the world, is gently shed and replaced. New cells rise to the surface, bringing with them a softness and resilience that is the mark of rest. Even your hair and nails grow more quickly at night, responding to the quiet signals that flow through your body as you sleep. Beneath the surface, your organs are hard at work. The liver, that tireless filter, processes the remnants of the day breaking down toxins, balancing chemicals, storing energy for the morning to come. The heart, freed from the demands of waking life, beats more slowly, conserving its strength. The lungs breathe in a steady rhythm, drawing in the cool night air, delivering oxygen to every cell. The immune system, your silent guardian, is especially active during sleep. White blood cells patrol your body, seeking out invaders, repairing damage and building memory for future defense. In the darkness, your body rehearses its responses, learning how to protect you from illness and harm. This nightly training is essential. Without it, you would wake more vulnerable, less able to meet the challenges of the day. Even your brain, that restless storyteller, is engaged in its own kind of repair. As you move through the cycles of sleep, the brain clears away the debris of thought proteins and waste products that have built up during the day. This cleansing is like a gentle tide, washing through the neural pathways, leaving them clear and ready for new learning, new memories, new dreams. The work of repair is not just physical, but emotional as well. In the safety of sleep, your mind processes the feelings and experiences of the day, weaving them into the fabric of memory. The sharp edges of worry are softened, the weight of sadness is lightened, the joy of small moments is preserved. This emotional renewal is as vital as the healing of muscle and bone. It is what allows you to wake with a sense of hope, a readiness to begin again. You may notice, after a night of deep sleep, that your body feels lighter, your mind clearer, your heart more at ease. This is the gift of the night shift, a restoration that is both subtle and profound. The aches and pains of yesterday are eased. The small wounds of body and spirit are tended to. The energy that was spent is quietly replenished. The body's night shift is guided by a wisdom that is older than words. Each cell knows its role, each system its task. The signals that guide this work are precise, timed to the rhythms of your sleep, the cycles of your night. Growth hormone surges during the deepest stages, when your body is most at rest. The immune system is most active in the early hours, when the world is quiet and still. This work is not always visible, but its effects are felt in every part of your life. The strength to climb a flight of stairs, the clarity to solve a problem, the resilience to face disappointment, all are gifts of the night shift. Without this nightly repair, the body would falter, the mind would grow weary, the spirit would lose its spark. There are times when the night shift is interrupted by illness, by stress, by the demands of a restless mind. On these nights, the work is harder, the repair less complete. You may wake feeling heavy, your body slow to respond, your mind clouded by fatigue. Yet even then, the body does not give up. The night shift resumes as soon as it can, always seeking to restore balance, always working to heal. You can support this nightly labor with small acts of care. A regular bedtime, a cool and quiet room, gentle movement during the day all help to set the stage for repair. The body responds to kindness, to rhythm, to the signals that say it is safe to rest. Each night, you offer your body the chance to heal, to renew, to prepare for the day to come. The foods you eat, the water you drink, the way you move and breathe, all become part of the night shift's work. Nutrients are delivered to where they are needed most. Waste is carried away. Energy is stored for the morning. The body is a master of resourcefulness, making the most of what you provide, always seeking to build and rebuild. To strengthen and sustain that, there is a beauty in this unseen labor, a sense of gratitude for the work that is done without your awareness. The body's night shift is a reminder that you are cared for, even when you are not watching, even when you are lost in dreams. Each morning, you wake to the results of this work, a body that is whole, a mind that is clear, a spirit that is ready to meet the world. As you lie in the quiet, you may sense the gentle hum of activity beneath the surface, the slow pulse of your heart, the steady rise and fall of your breath, the warmth that spreads through your limbs, all are signs that the night shift is at work. You are being restored, cell by cell, moment by moment, in the deep and healing. Darkness. The body's night shift is not just a matter of survival, but of thriving. It is what allows you to grow, to learn, to love, to dream. Each night, you are given the chance to begin again, to be made new, to carry forward the best of what you are. In the architecture of your night, the work of repair and renewal is the foundation upon which everything else is built. It is the reason you wake with energy, the reason you heal from injury, the reason you can face each day with hope. The night shift is always there, always working, always ready to restore you. As you drift deeper into sleep, the work continues, silent and unseen. The body, in its wisdom, knows what you need, knows how to heal, knows how to bring you back to yourself. The night is a time of restoration, a gift that is given freely, a promise that is kept with every breath, every beat, every dream. As the body's night shift quietly tends to its work, another world stirs in the shadows, a world woven from memory, imagination, and the secret language of the mind. This is the realm of dreams, a landscape that unfolds behind closed eyes, where the ordinary rules of time and space dissolve, and you are free to wander in ways waking life never allows. Dreams arrive softly, slipping in as the night deepens, and the cycles of sleep carry you into REM. That curious stage where the brain's activity flares and the eyes flicker beneath their lids. Here, the mind becomes a storyteller, spinning scenes and stories from the raw material of your days. Sometimes the tales are vivid and wild, filled with color and movement. Other times they are fleeting, dissolving before you can grasp their meaning. That no one knows exactly why we dream, but the mystery itself is part of the wonder. Some say dreams are the mind's way of sorting and storing memories, a nightly filing system that helps you make sense of the world. Others believe dreams are a playground for creativity, a space where the mind can experiment, rehearse, and imagine without consequence. Still others see dreams as a mirror, reflecting your deepest hopes and fears, your longings and regrets. Whatever their purpose, dreams are a universal experience. Every night, as you slip into the deeper stages of sleep, your mind begins to wander. It draws from the day's events, from old memories, from fragments of thought and feeling. A face, glimpsed in a crowd, a song half remembered, a worry that lingers at the edge of awareness, all may find their way into the tapestry of your dreams. Sometimes dreams are comforting, wrapping you in scenes of safety and joy. You might find yourself walking through a sunlit field or talking with a loved one long gone. Other times, dreams are strange and unsettling, filled with puzzles and paradoxes, with places and people that shift and change without warning. In dreams, you can fly, you can fall, you can become someone else entirely. The boundaries of self and story are fluid, the logic of waking life set aside. The science of dreams is as fascinating as the dreams themselves. During REM sleep, the brain is almost as active as it is when you are awake. The areas responsible for emotion and memory light up, while those that govern logic and self-control grow quiet. This unique pattern of activity allows the mind to roam freely, to connect ideas in new ways, to explore the landscapes of feeling and imagination. Dreams are shaped by the rhythms of your night. In the early hours, when deep sleep is most abundant, dreams are often brief and fragmented. As the night progresses and REM cycles lengthen, dreams become more vivid, more elaborate, more likely to be remembered. You may wake from a particularly striking dream just before morning, the images lingering like mist in the first light of day. Not all dreams are remembered. Most slip away unnoticed, their stories lost to the silence of the night. But even the forgotten dreams leave their mark, shaping your mood, your thoughts, your sense of self. The mind is changed by its journeys, even when you cannot recall the path. There are dreams that return again and again, familiar scenes that play out with subtle variations. These recurring dreams may carry messages or simply reflect the patterns of your mind. Nightmares, too, are part of the dreaming landscape intense, sometimes frightening visions that can jolt you awake, heart pounding, breath quickened. Though unsettling, nightmares are a sign that your mind is working through something important, a way of facing fears in the safety of sleep. Some people find meaning in their dreams, searching for symbols and signs, for clues to the mysteries of their lives. Others see dreams as random, the byproduct of a busy brain. Whatever your view, there is a kind of magic in the act of dreaming, a reminder that you are more than your waking self, that there are parts of you that speak in images and stories, in feelings and sensations. You may notice how your dreams change with your life. In childhood, dreams are often wild and fantastical, filled with adventure and wonder. As you grow older, dreams may become more grounded, more reflective of your daily concerns. Stress, illness, and major life changes can all shape the content and tone of your dreams as the mind works to process and adapt. There are ways to invite dreams, to remember them more clearly. Keeping a journal by your bed, writing down whatever you recall upon waking, can help to strengthen the bridge between the dreaming and waking worlds. The simple act of paying attention, of honoring your dreams as part of your experience, can make them more vivid, more meaningful. Some nights, dreams are elusive, slipping away before you can catch them. Other nights, they are so vivid that they linger long after you wake, coloring your mood, shaping your thoughts. You may find yourself thinking of a dream throughout the day, its images returning at odd moments, its feelings echoing in your heart. Dreams are a reminder that rest is not just a time of stillness, but a time of movement, a journey through the landscapes of your own mind. In dreams, you are both creator and explorer, both witness and participant. The stories you tell yourself in sleep are as real, in their own way, as the stories you live by day. There is comfort in knowing that you are never truly alone in your dreams. The people you meet, the places you visit, the adventures you undertake, all are part of you, reflections of your own mind and heart. Even the strangest dreams are woven from the threads of your experience, your memory, your imagination. As you drift through the cycles of sleep, the mystery of dreams unfolds around you. The mind, freed from the constraints of waking life, is allowed to play, to heal, to create. Each night, you are given the chance to explore new worlds, to revisit old ones, to discover parts of yourself that are hidden in the daylight. The mystery of dreams is a gift, a reminder that there is more to you than meets the eye. In the quiet of the night, as the body is restored and the mind is renewed, you are free to wander, to wonder, to be remade by the stories you tell yourself in sleep. In the quiet sanctuary of night, where dreams unfold and the body repairs, there are forces at work that you may not see, but surely feel. These are the unseen disturbers' light that lingers where darkness should be, sounds that ripple through, the silence and temperatures that shift the comfort of your rest. They are the subtle sculptors of your sleep, shaping the quality of your night in ways both gentle and profound. You may not always notice their presence, but your body is exquisitely attuned to these cues. The flicker of a street lamp through the curtains, the hum of distant traffic, the warmth or chill that settles in your room, each becomes a message, a signal that your mind and body quietly interpret. Even as you sleep, your senses remain alert, standing guard at the threshold between the world and your dreams. Light is perhaps the most powerful of these unseen disturbers. Your body's inner clock, the circadian rhythm, is set by the rising and setting of the sun. For countless generations, darkness signaled the time for rest, while morning light called you back to wakefulness. But in the modern world, darkness is no longer absolute. Screens glow late into the night, city lights paint the sky, and the natural rhythm of day and night is blurred. The blue light from phones, tablets, and televisions is especially potent. It mimics the brightness of morning, sending a message to your brain that it is not yet time to sleep. Melatonin, the gentle guardian of rest, is held at bay, and the invitation to sleep is delayed. Even a small amount of light can shift your rhythm, making it harder to fall asleep, harder to stay asleep, harder to wake feeling truly refreshed. You may have noticed how a single light and alarm clock's glow, a hallway lamp left on, can seem impossibly bright in the darkness. The eyes, so sensitive in the night, send signals to the brain that ripple through the body, keeping you closer to wakefulness than you might realize. The solution is simple, yet profound. Honor the darkness. Draw the curtains, dim the lights. Let your room become a haven where night is allowed to be night. Sound, too, is a powerful shaper of sleep. The world is rarely silent, even in the deepest hours. The distant bark of a dog, the rumble of a passing car, the creak of a settling house, each sound is a thread that can tug you back toward wakefulness. Some sounds are sharp and sudden, jolting you from dreams. Others are constant, a background hum that your mind learns to ignore, yet never fully escapes. Your brain is always listening, even as you sleep. It is a sentinel, alert to danger, ready to wake you if something is amiss. This vigilance is a gift, a legacy of survival, but it can also be a burden. Chronic noise traffic, neighbors, the endless buzz of electronics can fragment your sleep, leaving you tired even after a full night in bed. There are ways to soften the impact of sound. White noise, the gentle whir of a fan, the steady hush of rain. These can mask the sharper edges of the night, creating a cocoon of sound that soothes rather than startles. Rituals of quiet, the turning off of devices, the closing of doors, the gentle lowering of voices, all help to signal to your mind that it is safe to let go. Temperature, too, is a silent partner in the dance of sleep. The body's core temperature naturally drops as you prepare for rest, a signal that it is time to surrender to the night. A room that is too warm or too cold can disrupt this process, making it harder to fall asleep, harder to stay in the deeper stages where true renewal happens. You may have felt the restlessness that comes with a stuffy room, the tossing and turning, as your body searches for comfort. Or perhaps you have woken shivering, the chill of the air pulling you back from dreams. The ideal sleep environment is cool, quiet, and dark, a place where the body can follow its natural rhythms, where the mind can drift without interruption. Bedding, too, plays its part. The weight of a blanket, the softness of sheets, the breathability of fabrics all become part of the sensory landscape of your night. The right combination is deeply personal, a matter of preference and need. What matters most is that your bed feels like a refuge, a place where comfort is easy, where rest comes naturally. The unseen disturbers are not always within your control. The world is full of light and sound and shifting temperatures, and sometimes, despite your best efforts, they find their way into your sanctuary. On these nights, patience and acceptance become your allies. The body is resilient, the mind adaptable. Even when sleep is interrupted, the invitation remains, the journey continues. May find that small changes make a big difference. A blackout curtain, a white noise machine, a fan or an extra blanket each is a gesture of care, a way of honoring your need for rest. The rituals you create around bedtime, the choices you make about your environment, all become part of the architecture of your night. There is a wisdom in listening to your senses, in noticing what helps and what hinders your sleep. The body is always communicating, always seeking balance. By tuning in, by making small adjustments, you can create a space where the unseen disturbers are softened, where the invitation to sleep is clear and strong. As you lie in the quiet, you may become aware of the subtle interplay of light, sound, and temperature. The darkness that soothes your eyes, the hush that calms your mind, the coolness that settles your body, all are part of the story of your night. Each sense is a doorway, a path that leads you deeper into rest. The world outside may be full of distractions, but within your sanctuary, you can create a haven. A place where the body is free to follow its rhythms, where the mind is free to wander, where sleep is allowed to unfold in its own time. The unseen disturbers will always be there, but with care and attention, their power can be softened, their impact eased out in the end. Sleep is a partnership, a dance between your body, your mind, and the world around you. By honoring the needs of your senses, by creating a space that welcomes rest, you give yourself the best chance to wake renewed, ready to greet the day with clarity and ease. As the world outside quiets and your senses settle into the gentle rhythm of night, another influence quietly shapes your journey into rest. It is the food you eat, the drinks you choose, the small rituals of nourishment that ripple through your body long after the last bite is taken. What you consume becomes part of the architecture of your sleep. a silent partner in the dance between wakefulness and renewal. You may not always notice the connection, but your body remembers. The warmth of a late-night cup of tea, the sweetness of a dessert, the comfort of a favorite meal each leaves its mark, a subtle signal that lingers as you prepare for bed. Some foods soothe, inviting sleep with their gentle chemistry. Others stir the body, keeping you alert when you long for rest. Caffeine is perhaps the most familiar of these nighttime companions. Found in coffee, tea, chocolate, and many sodas, caffeine is a stimulant, a gentle nudge that keeps the mind awake and alert. Its effects can last for hours, quietly blocking the signals that tell your brain it is time to sleep. Even in afternoon, cup can echo into the night, making it harder to drift into the deeper stages where true rest is found. Sugar, too, can shape your sleep. A sweet treat before bed may bring comfort, but it can also send your blood sugar on a roller coaster, leading to restless dreams and early awakenings. The body, always seeking balance, responds to these shifts with a cascade of hormones, each trying to restore the gentle equilibrium that sleep requires. Yet not all foods are foes to rest. Some are quiet allies, rich in the building blocks your body needs to create the hormones of sleep. Tryptophan, an amino acid found in foods like turkey, nuts, and seeds, is a precursor to serotonin and melatonin, the gentle messengers that guide you into slumber. Complex carbohydrates, found in whole grains and vegetables, help to steady blood sugar, providing a slow, even release of energy that supports the body's natural rhythms. Magnesium, a mineral found in leafy greens, nuts, and seeds, is another quiet helper. It soothes the muscles, calms the nervous system, and helps to regulate the cycles of sleep. A warm glass of milk, a handful of almonds, a bowl of oatmeal, these simple foods can become part of your nightly ritual, a way of signaling to your body that it is safe to let go. The timing of your meals matters too. A heavy meal late at night can leave the body working hard to digest, making it harder to find comfort and ease. Spicy or rich foods may cause heartburn or discomfort, pulling you back from the edge of sleep. The body prefers a gentle transition, a few hours between the last meal and bedtime, a chance to settle and prepare for rest. Hydration is another thread in the tapestry of sleep. Too little water, and you may wake thirsty, your mouth dry, your body restless. Too much, and you may find yourself rising in the night, pulled from dreams by the need to visit the bathroom. The balance is delicate, a quiet conversation between your body's needs and your nightly rituals. Alcohol, though often used as a nightcap, is a trickster in the world of sleep. It may bring a sense of relaxation, a softening of the edges, but its effects are fleeting. As the body processes alcohol, sleep becomes lighter, more fragmented, dreams more vivid and less restorative. The promise of rest is broken, and you may wake feeling less refreshed, your body still working to clear the remnants from your system. You may notice how your own habits shape your nights. The comfort of a warm drink, the pleasure of a favorite snack, the rituals you keep around food and drink all become part of the story of your sleep. By listening to your body, by noticing what helps and what hinders, you can create a pattern that supports rest, that honors the needs of both body and mind. There is a wisdom in the way the body responds to nourishment, a quiet intelligence that guides your choices. The foods that comfort you, the drinks that soothe, the timing of your meals all are signals, messages that shape the invitation to sleep. By choosing with care, by honoring your own rhythms, you can support the gentle work of renewal that unfolds each night. You may find that certain foods become part of your bedtime ritual, a piece of fruit, a cup of herbal tea, a small bowl of yogurt. These simple acts of care become signals to your body, reminders that it is time to let go, to surrender to the night. The rituals you create around food and drink are as important as the foods themselves, shaping the architecture of your rest. Connection between food and sleep is not just physical, but emotional as well. The comfort of a favorite meal, the memory of a family recipe, the pleasure of sharing food with loved ones, all become part of the landscape of your night. These moments of nourishment are woven into your dreams, shaping the way you feel as you drift into sleep. As you lie in the quiet, you may notice the gentle echoes of your choices, the warmth in your belly, the softness in your muscles, the ease in your breath. The body, always listening, always responding, is grateful for the care you have given. The food you eat becomes the sleep you keep, a silent partner in the journey toward renewal. There is no perfect formula, no single diet that guarantees rest. Each body is unique, each night a new beginning. What matters most is the attention. You bring the kindness you offer, the willingness to listen to your own needs. By honoring the connection between nourishment and rest, you create the conditions for sleep to unfold, for the body to heal, for the mind to dream. In the architecture of your night, food is both foundation and adornment, a source of strength, a gesture of care, a quiet invitation to let go. The choices you make each day become the dreams you dream each night, the energy you carry into the morning, the sense of wholeness that lingers as you wake. As the world outside grows still, as your senses settle and your breath slows, you are reminded that rest is not just a matter of closing your eyes, but of caring for yourself in all the small ways that matter. The food you eat, the rituals you keep, the kindness you offer, each becomes a thread in the tapestry of your sleep, a gift you give to yourself, night after night. In the quiet hours when the world is hushed and your body is at rest, there is a rhythm that continues, steady and faithful. It is the breath of night, the gentle rise and fall of your chest, the soft whisper of air moving in and out, a lullaby that soothes you from the inside out. Breathing is the most constant companion of your sleep, a silent thread that weaves through every stage, every dream, every moment of renewal. You may not notice your breath as you drift into sleep, but it is always there, guiding you deeper, anchoring you in the present. Each inhale brings in the coolness of the night. Each exhale releases the warmth of the day. The body, wise and attentive, adjusts the rhythm of your breathing as you move from wakefulness to rest, from the surface of sleep to its deepest depths. As you settle into bed, your breath begins to slow. The hurried pace of the day gives way to a gentler rhythm, a signal to your body that it is safe to let go. The muscles that support your breathing relax, your heart rate drops, and the air moves more quietly through your lungs. This shift is not just a sign of sleep, but a part of its very foundation, a way for your body to conserve energy, to focus on healing and renewal. Breathing is more than just a physical act. It is a bridge between body and mind. The simple act of paying attention to your breath can calm racing thoughts, ease tension, and invite sleep to come closer. In moments of restlessness, when the mind refuses to quiet, returning to the breath can be a gentle anchor, a way to find your way back to the present. The science of sleep and breathing is as intricate as it is beautiful. During the different stages of sleep, your breathing changes in subtle ways. In light sleep, the breath is steady and even, a gentle tide that ebbs and flows. In deep sleep, it becomes slower and more regular, supporting the body's work of repair and renewal. During REM sleep, when dreams are vivid and the mind is active, breathing can become irregular, mirroring the adventures unfolding behind closed eyes. For most, this nightly dance of breath is effortless, a background rhythm that needs no attention. But for some, the breath of night is interrupted by pauses, by snoring, by the sudden gasp for air that pulls you from the depths of sleep. Sleep apnea, a common but often unnoticed condition, is one of the most significant disruptors of restful sleep. It is a momentary collapse of the airway, a brief silence that can happen dozens or even hundreds of times each night. When breathing is interrupted, the body is jolted awake, even if only for a moment. The cycles of sleep are broken. The work of repair is left unfinished, and you may wake feeling tired, your energy depleted, your mind clouded. The breath of night, so essential to rest, becomes a source of disturbance, a barrier to the renewal you seek. Other breathing challenges can also shape your nights. Allergies, congestion, asthma, or even the position in which you sleep can influence the ease and quality of your breath. The body is sensitive to these changes, always seeking the path of least resistance, always working to keep the air moving, the oxygen flowing. The heart at ease. There are gentle ways to support the breath of night. Sleeping on your side, elevating your head, keeping your bedroom free from dust and allergens. All can help to open the airways, to make breathing easier and more natural. The use of humidifiers, the choice of pillows, the attention to posture, each is a small act of care, a way of honoring the importance of breath in the architecture of your sleep. Breathing exercises, practiced before bed, can also help to prepare the body and mind for rest. Slow, deep breaths signal to the nervous system that it is time to relax, to let go of the day's tension. The simple act of inhaling for a count of 4, holding for a moment, and exhaling for a count of 6 can calm the mind, slow the heart, and invite sleep to come closer. The breath is a teacher, a reminder that rest is not just about stillness, but about flow. Each night, as you surrender to sleep, you are carried by the gentle current of your own breathing, rocked by the rhythm that has been with you since the very beginning. The breath of night is a gift, a source of comfort and renewal, a quiet assurance that you are alive, that you are safe, that you are home. You may notice, as you wake in the morning, the freshness that comes from a night of easy breathing. The body feels lighter, the mind clearer, the heart more at peace. This is the gift of the breath of night, a restoration that is both subtle and profound, a foundation for the day to come. For those who struggle with breathing during sleep, there is hope and help. Medical treatments, lifestyle changes, and gentle practices can all support the return to restful nights. The body is resilient, always seeking balance, always working to restore the natural flow of breath. With care and attention, the breath of night can become a source of healing once more. As you lie in the quiet, you may become aware of your own breathing, the gentle rise and fall, the soft sound of air moving in and out, the comfort that comes from knowing you are cared for, even in the deepest darkness. The breath of night is always with you, a companion on the journey, a guide through the landscapes of sleep. In the architecture of your night, breathing is both foundation and melody, rhythm that supports every dream, every moment of renewal. By honoring the breath, by caring for the body that breathes, you create the conditions for sleep to unfold, for healing to happen, for the mind to be restored. The breath of night is a reminder that rest is not just a matter of closing your eyes, but of trusting in the wisdom of your own body. Each inhale, each exhale is a step on the path to renewal, a quiet affirmation that you are alive, that you are whole, that you are ready to greet the morning with clarity and ease. In the quiet sanctuary of night, where breath moves softly and the body seeks renewal, there are times when rest is interrupted by forces that move unseen. These are the hidden agitators, sleep disorders that slip silently into the architecture of your night, reshaping the landscape of your rest. Their presence is often subtle, their effects felt in the morning as a heaviness that lingers, a sense that sleep's promise has not been fully kept. You may not always recognize these hidden guests. They do not always announce themselves with loud disruptions or dramatic awakenings. Sometimes they are gentle thieves, stealing rest in small increments, leaving you to wonder why you wake tired, why your energy fades before the day is done. The world of sleep disorders is vast and varied, each condition with its own story, its own way of shaping the night. Insomnia is perhaps the most familiar of these agitators. It is the restless tossing and turning, the mind that refuses to quiet, the body that cannot find comfort. For some, insomnia is a rare visitor, arriving only in times of stress or change. For others, it is a frequent companion, a pattern that repeats night after night. The causes are many: worry, pain, changes in routine, even the simple passage of time. The result is the same: a night spent searching for rest, a morning spent longing for renewal. Restless leg syndrome is another hidden agitator, a sensation that creeps into the limbs as night falls. It is a tingling, an urge to move, a discomfort that grows stronger in stillness. The relief comes only with movement, a walk around the room, a shift in position. The body, so ready for rest, is kept awake by its own need to move, to stretch, to find ease. Sleep apnea, a condition where breathing is interrupted during sleep, is often unnoticed by the sleeper. The breath pauses, the body wakes just enough to resume breathing, and the cycle repeats, sometimes hundreds of times a night. The sleeper may not remember these awakenings, but the body does. The result is a night of fragmented rest, a day of fatigue, a sense that sleep is never quite enough. Narcolepsy is a rarer disorder, but its effects are profound. It is the sudden intrusion of sleep into waking life, the overwhelming urge to rest at unexpected moments. For those who live with narcolepsy, the boundaries between sleep and wakefulness are blurred, the rhythms of the body out of sync with the world. The mind may drift into dreams even as the eyes remain open, the body caught between two worlds. Parasomnias are the strange and sometimes unsettling behaviors that can arise during sleep. Sleepwalking, night terrors, talking in one's sleep. These are the stories that fill the night with mystery. The sleeper moves or speaks without awareness, the mind caught in a place between dreaming and waking. For most, these episodes are harmless, a curiosity rather than a danger. For some, they can be disruptive, a source of confusion or concern. Circadian rhythm disorders are another way the architecture of sleep can be disturbed. The body's inner clock, so carefully tuned to the cycles of light and dark, can fall out of sync with the world. Shift work, travel across time zones, even changes in routine can send the rhythm astray. The result is a feeling of jet lag, a sense that sleep comes at the wrong time, that rest is always just out of reach. Each of these hidden agitators has its own causes, its own ways of shaping the night. Genetics, lifestyle, environment, and health all play a role. Sometimes the cause is clear: a new job, a stressful event, a change in medication. Other times, the reason remains a mystery, a puzzle that the sleeper must learn to live with, to manage with care and patience. The effects of sleep disorders are not limited to the night. They ripple into the day, shaping mood, memory, concentration, and even physical health. The body, deprived of the deep rest it needs, becomes more vulnerable to illness, more sensitive to pain, more easily overwhelmed by the challenges of daily life. The mind, too, feels the strained thoughts become cloudy, emotions more difficult to manage, the world a little less bright. Yet even in the presence of these hidden agitators, there is hope. The body is resilient, the mind adaptable. With understanding, with care, with gentle attention, it is possible to find ways to support rest, to ease the disruptions, to reclaim the promise of sleep. Medical treatments, lifestyle changes, and supportive rituals can all play a part in restoring balance, in helping the body and mind find their way back to renewal. Awareness is the first step. By noticing the patterns of your sleep, by paying attention to how you feel in the morning, you can begin to uncover the presence of these hidden guests. A sleep diary, a conversation with a healthcare provider, a willingness to listen to your own experience, all can help to bring the agitators into the light. to find the support you need. There is no shame in struggling with sleep. It is a common challenge, a part of the human experience. The world is full of distractions, of stresses, of changes that can unsettle even the most peaceful night. By meeting these challenges with kindness, with patience, with a willingness to seek help, you honor your need for rest, your right to renewal. The hidden agitators are not invincible. With time, with care, with the right support, it is possible to soften their impact, to find new ways of moving through the night. The body remembers how to rest. The mind knows how to heal. Even after nights of disruption, the invitation to sleep remains. The promise of renewal is never lost. As you lie in the quiet, you may sense the presence of these hidden forces, the ways they shape your night. But you may also feel the resilience of your own body, the wisdom of your own mind, the gentle strength that carries you through. The journey of sleep is not always easy, but it is always worth taking, always worth honoring in the architecture of your night. The hidden agitators are just one part of the story. They may shape your rest, but they do not define it. With care, with attention, with the support of those who understand, you can find your way back to the heart of sleep, to the place where renewal is possible, where the promise of morning is always waiting. There are nights when sleep feels like a distant shore, and the journey across is made heavy by the weight of worry. Stress, that silent companion of modern life, can follow you into the darkness, settling on your chest, tightening your muscles, filling your mind with restless questions. Even as the body longs for rest, the mind circles around its concerns, unable to let go. Stress is not just a feeling. It is a physical presence, a cascade of signals that ripple through your body. When you are worried or anxious, your brain sends out a call to arms, releasing hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These messengers prepare you for action, sharpening your senses, quickening your heart, tensing your muscles. In the daylight, this response can be helpful, a burst of energy to meet a challenge, a surge of focus to solve a problem. But at night, when the world is quiet and you are safe in your bed, this same response becomes a barrier to rest. You may notice how stress lingers in the body. The jaw clenched tight, the shoulders drawn up, the breath shallow and quick. The mind, too, is caught in a loop, replaying conversations, imagining worst-case scenarios, searching for solutions that never quite arrive. The body and mind, meant to work together in harmony, are caught in a cycle of tension, each feeding the other, making it harder to find the peace that sleep requires. The effects of stress on sleep are both immediate and long-lasting. In the short term, worry can make it difficult to fall asleep, to stay asleep, to move through the cycles of rest that your body needs. Over time, chronic stress can reshape the architecture of your night, fragmenting your sleep, reducing the time spent in the deepest, most restorative stages. The result is a morning that feels heavy, a day that begins with fatigue. A sense that you are always running behind. Stress can also shape your dreams, turning them vivid and restless, filling the night with images that echo your waking concerns. The mind, always seeking resolution, continues its work even as you sleep, weaving your worries into the fabric of your dreams. You may wake with a sense of unease, the weight of the night lingering long after the sun has risen. Yet stress is not an enemy to be defeated, but a signal to be understood. It is the body's way of telling you that something needs attention, that a need has gone unmet, that a boundary has been crossed. By listening to this signal, by honoring the wisdom of your own experience, you can begin to soften the grip of worry to create space for rest. There are gentle practices that can help to ease the weight of stress. The simple act of breathing deeply, of feeling the air move in and out, can calm the nervous system, slow the heart, relax the muscles. Mindfulness, the practice of bringing your attention to the present moment, can help to break the cycle of worry, to anchor you in the here and now. Even a few minutes of quiet reflection, of noticing the sensations in your body, the sounds in your room, the feeling of the sheets against your skin, can help to create a sense of safety, a foundation. For sleep, rituals of care can also support the release of stress. A warm bath, a gentle stretch, a cup of herbal tea each is a signal to your body that it is time to let go, to surrender to the night. The routines you create around bedtime become a kind of lullaby, a way of soothing the mind, of preparing. The body for rest. Connection is another powerful antidote to stress. Sharing your worries with a friend, writing them down in a journal, seeking support from those who understand these acts of reaching out can lighten the load, reminding you that you are not alone. The simple act of naming your worries, of bringing them into the light, can make them feel less overwhelming, more manageable. The environment you create can also help to ease the weight of stress. A dark, quiet room, free from distractions, can signal to your body that it is safe to rest. The gentle weight of a blanket, the softness of a pillow, the familiar scent of lavender or chamomile, these small comforts can help to anchor you in the present, to draw your attention away from worry and toward ease. You may find that stress is most persistent when you are trying hardest to sleep. The effort to force rest can backfire, making worry even more insistent. Sleep, like peace, cannot be commanded. It must be invited, welcomed, allowed to come in its own time. The more you struggle, the more elusive it becomes. Sometimes, the kindest thing you can do is to let go of the effort, to trust that rest will come when it is ready. There is a wisdom in accepting the presence of stress, in allowing worry to come and go without judgment. The mind is doing what it was made to do: think, remember, imagine, prepare. You can watch your worries as if they are leaves floating down a stream, noticing them without getting caught up in their stories. With practice, the mind learns that it is safe to let go, that it can rest without losing itself. The weight of stress is not a sign of weakness, but a mark of caring. It is the part of you that wants to protect, to solve, to make things right. By meeting this part of yourself with kindness, by offering it patience and understanding, you create the conditions for rest to return. As you lie in the quiet, you may notice the way your worries begin to soften, the way the edges of your thoughts grow less sharp. The body, feeling the mind's release, sinks deeper into the mattress. The breath grows slower. The heart finds its steady rhythm. In this gentle surrender, the gates of sleep open once more, the invitation renewed. There is comfort in knowing that stress is not a permanent state, but a passing weather. With care, with attention, with gentle practices, you can help the clouds to part, the weight to lift, the night to become a place of rest, once more. In the architecture of your night, stress is just one of many influences, a part of the story, but not its end. By honoring your need for rest, by caring for your body and mind, you create the conditions for renewal, for healing, for the quiet joy of waking refreshed. As the weight of the day begins to lift and the mind's worries soften, there is a quiet wisdom in the small acts that signal to your body and spirit that it is time to rest. These are your ritual, simple, familiar gestures that form the gentle bridge between wakefulness and sleep. In a world that often feels unpredictable, routine becomes a kind of anchor, a steadying force that helps you find your way back to yourself each night. You may not always notice the power of these rituals, but your body remembers. The way you dim the lights, the sound of water running as you wash your face, the feel of soft fabric as you change into pajamas, each is a message, a gentle nudge that the day is ending and a new chapter is about to begin. These routines are not just habits. They are invitations, reminders that it is safe to let go, to surrender to the quiet of the night. Science tells us that the body thrives on rhythm. The circadian clock, that ancient timekeeper within, responds to patterns and predictability. When you keep a regular bedtime, When you follow the same steps each evening, you are reinforcing the signals that guide your body toward rest. The mind, too, finds comfort in the familiar, in the repetition of small acts that mark the transition from doing to being, from effort to ease. Your rituals may be as simple as brushing your teeth, reading a few pages of a favorite book, or listening to soft music as you settle into bed. Or they may be more elaborate cup of herbal tea, a few gentle stretches, a moment of gratitude for the day that has passed. What matters most is not the specific actions, but the intention behind them. Each ritual is a way of telling yourself, I am ready to rest. I am worthy of care. The environment you create is part of this ritual too. The way you arrange your pillows, the scent of clean sheets, the soft glow of a bedside lamp all become part of the sensory landscape that welcomes you into sleep. The act of turning off screens, of letting the world grow quiet, is a signal to your mind that it is time to turn inward, to let the outside world fade away. For some, the ritual of writing in a journal can be especially powerful. The act of putting thoughts on paper, of naming worries and hopes, can help to clear the mind, to make space for rest. Others find comfort in prayer or meditation, in the quiet repetition of words, or the simple act of focusing on the breath. These practices are not about perfection, but about presence, a way of meeting yourself with kindness at the threshold of sleep. Children often know the power of ritual instinctively. The bedtime story, the favorite blanket, the gentle lullaby, these are not just ways to pass the time, but essential parts of the journey into sleep. As adults, we sometimes forget this wisdom, believing that rest should come easily, without preparation. Yet the body and mind still crave the comfort of routine, the reassurance that comes from knowing what to expect. Rituals can also help to ease the transition from a busy day to a restful night. The mind, accustomed to constant stimulation, may need time to unwind, to let go of the momentum of the day. By creating a buffer, a period of quiet, a series of gentle acts, you give yourself permission to slow down, to shift gears, to prepare for the deeper work of renewal that happens in sleep. You may notice that your rituals change with the seasons of your life. What soothes you now may be different from what comforted you in childhood, or what will bring ease in years to come. The key is to listen, to pay attention to what feels nourishing, to allow your routines to evolve as your needs change. There is no single right way to prepare for sleep. There is only the way that feels true for you. Sometimes life disrupts your routines. Travel, illness, changes in schedule all can unsettle the patterns you have built. In these moments, it can be helpful to hold on to even one small ritual, a favorite scent, a few deep breaths, a quiet moment of reflection. These anchors can help you find your way back to rest, even when the world feels unfamiliar. The rituals you create are not just for the body, but for the spirit as well. They are a way of honoring your need for rest, of acknowledging the importance of renewal. In a culture that often values productivity above all else, the act of caring for yourself, of making space for sleep, is a quiet act of rebellion, a statement that you are more than what you accomplish. As you move through your evening rituals, you may notice a sense of anticipation, a gentle excitement for the comfort that awaits. The body begins to relax, the mind grows quieter, the heart finds its steady rhythm. Each act, no matter how small, becomes a thread in the tapestry of your night, a way of weaving together the day that has passed and the rest that is to come. There is a beauty in the repetition, a comfort in the familiar. The rituals you keep are a form of self-love, a way of tending to your own needs, of creating a sanctuary where you can be renewed. Over time, these routines become part of who you are, a foundation that supports you not just in sleep, but in waking life as well. As you lie in the quiet, surrounded by the comforts you have chosen, you may feel a sense of gratitude for the rituals that guide you into rest. The day's worries fade, The body grows heavy. The mind drifts toward dreams. In this space, you are free to let go, to be held by the gentle rhythm of your own care. The role of routine is not to control, but to support, to create the conditions in which sleep can unfold naturally in its own time. By honoring your need for ritual, by making space for rest, you give yourself the gift of renewal night after night. In the gentle hush of evening, as rituals of rest begin to unfold, there is a quiet glow that often lingers, a blue-white light, soft yet insistent, radiating from the screens that fill our modern lives. Phones, tablets, televisions, and computers. These companions of the day so easily follow us into the night, their presence both comforting and quietly disruptive. The technology that connects us, entertains us, and informs us can also become a subtle barrier to the deep, renewing sleep we seek. You may notice how the urge to check one last message, to scroll through news or social feeds, to watch a favorite show, can stretch the day just a little longer. The world, once bounded by the setting sun, now extends into the night, illuminated by pixels and notifications. The mind, drawn to the endless stream of information and images, finds it harder to let go, to surrender to the slower rhythms of rest. The science behind this is as clear as the glow itself. The light emitted by screens, especially the blue wavelengths, mimics the brightness of morning. When your eyes take in this light, your brain receives a signal. Stay alert, stay awake, the day is not yet done. Melatonin, the gentle hormone that prepares you for sleep, is suppressed, its invitation delayed. The body's natural clock, so carefully tuned to the cycles of light and dark, is nudged out of sync. It is not just the light, but the content as well. The stories you read, the images you see, the messages you send and receive all stir the mind, keeping it active and engaged. The brain, always eager for novelty, is quick to respond to the pings and flashes, the shifting scenes and scrolling text. Even after the screen is turned off, the mind may linger in the world it has just left, replaying conversations, imagining outcomes, holding on to the energy of the day. You may have felt this yourself, the way sleep feels more elusive after a night spent with screens, the way dreams are more restless, the way the morning comes too soon, leaving you tired and unrefreshed. The technology that promises connection and comfort can, without intention, become a thief of rest, a quiet presence that shapes the architecture of your night. Yet technology is not an enemy, but a tool, a part of modern life that can be used with care and intention. The key is not to banish screens entirely, but to create boundaries, to honor the rhythms of your body and mind. By choosing when and how you engage with technology, you can reclaim the quiet of the night, making space for the rituals and rhythms that support deep rest. One gentle practice is to set a time each evening when screens are put away, when the glow is replaced by softer light, when the mind is given permission to slow down. This transition can be marked by a simple act, a cup of tea, a few pages of a book, a moment of quiet reflection. The body, sensing the change, begins to prepare. For sleep, the mind follows, and the invitation to rest becomes clearer. The environment you create can also support this transition. Dimming the lights, using warm bulbs, lighting a candle, these small acts help to signal to your body that the day is ending, that it is safe to let go. The bedroom, free from the presence of screens, becomes a sanctuary, a place where rest is honored, where the mind can drift without interruption. For those times when screens are needed, there are ways to soften their impact. Many devices now offer night mode settings, reducing blue light and shifting to warmer tones. Blue light blocking glasses, screen filters, and mindful use of technology can all help to protect the rhythms of your sleep. The goal is not perfection, but awareness, a willingness to notice how your habits shape your nights, and to make choices that support your well-being. you may find that the benefits of these changes extend beyond sleep. The quiet that comes from stepping away from screens can create space for reflection, for connection with loved ones, for the simple pleasures of reading, listening to music, or sitting in silence. The mind, freed from the constant stimulation, finds it easier to settle, to dream, to be renewed. Children, too, are sensitive to the effects of screens. The rituals you create for yourself can become a model for those you care for, teaching the value of boundaries, the importance of rest, the beauty of quiet. By making space for screen-free evenings, you offer a gift not just to yourself, but to those who share your home. Technology, when used with intention, can even become part of your rituals for rest. Gentle music, guided meditations, stories read. Aloud, these can all support the transition to sleep, offering comfort and ease. The key is to choose with care, to notice how each choice feels in your body and mind, to honor the signals that guide you toward rest as you lie in the quiet. The glow of screens set aside, you may notice a new kind of stillness, a softness in the air, a sense of anticipation for the dreams to come. The body, free from the signals of wakefulness, relaxes more deeply, the mind drifts more easily, the heart finds its steady rhythm. In this space, sleep becomes a gentle companion, a source of renewal and peace. The technology trap is not a fixed fate, but a pattern that can be changed. With awareness, with small acts of care, you can reclaim the night, making space for the rhythms and rituals that support your deepest rest. The world will wait. The messages, the news, the stories will be there in the morning. For now, you are free to let go, to surrender to the quiet wisdom of your own body, to be restored by the gentle power of sleep. Sleep, like the seasons, is always changing. From the first days of life to the quiet years of old age, the architecture of your night shifts and adapts, shaped by the passage of time. The way you rest as a child is not the way you rest as a non-adult, and the sleep of later years carries its own unique rhythms and needs. In this gentle unfolding, you can see the story of your life written in the language of dreams and renewal. In childhood, sleep is abundant and deep. Babies drift in and out of slumber, their days and nights blending together in a soft, rhythmic dance. Their sleep is rich in REM, the stage where the brain grows and learns, where memories are woven and the world is made sense of. For children, sleep is a time of growth, a foundation for the adventures of waking life. As you grow, the patterns of sleep begin to change. School-age children and teenagers need more rest than adults, yet their schedules often pull them in the opposite direction. Early mornings, busy days, and the lure of technology can make it harder to get the sleep their bodies crave. The mind, alive with curiosity and change, may find it difficult to settle, and the rituals of bedtime become even more important, a way to anchor the night, to create space for dreams. Adulthood brings its own shifts. The demands of work, family, and responsibility can crowd the hours of rest, and sleep may become lighter, more easily disturbed. The cycles of deep sleep grow shorter, and the time spent in REM may decrease. Yet the need for renewal remains, and the body continues its nightly work of repair and restoration. The rituals you keep, the choices you make, become even more important, helping to support the changing architecture of your night. With age, sleep changes again. Many older adults find that they fall asleep earlier, wake more often during the night, and rise with the dawn. The cycles of deep sleep become shorter and less frequent, and the body's internal clock may shift, making it harder to stay asleep through the night. These changes are natural, a reflection of the body's evolving needs, but they can also bring challenges: fatigue, difficulty concentrating, a sense that rest is never quite enough. The reasons for these changes are many. The production of melatonin, the hormone that signals the body to sleep, decreases with age. The body's sensitivity to light and darkness may shift, making it harder to maintain a regular rhythm. Health conditions, medications, and changes in activity can all play a role, shaping the way sleep unfolds in later years. Yet even as sleep changes, the need for rest remains. The body continues its nightly work of healing and renewal. The mind continues to process and dream. The rituals of bedtime, the comfort of routine, the care you offer yourself all become even more important, helping to support the quality of your rest, even as the quantity may change. There is a gentle wisdom in accepting these changes, in honoring the needs of your body as they evolve. By listening to your own rhythms, by making small adjustments, you can support your sleep at every stage of life. A regular bedtime, exposure to morning light, gentle movement during the day, and a quiet, comfortable sleep environment can all help to anchor your nights, to make space for renewal. Connection, too, remains important. Sharing your worries, seeking support, and maintaining social ties can help to ease the loneliness that sometimes comes with age, making it easier to find comfort and rest. The rituals you keep, whether it's a cup of tea, a favorite book, or a quiet moment of reflection, become a way of caring for yourself, a way of honoring the journey you have traveled. You may notice that your dreams change as you age. Wild adventures of childhood give way to dreams that are more reflective, more rooted in memory and experience. A mind, always seeking meaning, continues its nightly work, weaving the story of your life into the fabric of your rest. There is beauty in the changing architecture of your night, a reminder that sleep is not a fixed state, but a living process. Each stage of life brings its own needs, its own challenges, its own gifts. By meeting these changes with kindness, with patience, with a willingness to adapt, you can continue to find renewal, to wake each morning with a sense of hope and possibility. As you lie in the quiet, you may feel the gentle presence of all the nights that have come before, the comfort of childhood, the energy of youth, the wisdom of age. Each night is a new beginning, a chance to care for yourself, to honor the rhythms of your body, to be restored by the gentle power of sleep. The aging night is not an end, but a continuation, a part of the journey that is always unfolding. By embracing the changes, by supporting your body and mind with care and attention, you can continue to find rest, to dream, to be renewed, no matter where you are on the path. Not all rest is found in the long, unbroken stretch of night. Sometimes renewal arrives in the gentle pause of the day, a brief surrender to sleep, a nap that softens the edges of fatigue and restores the spirit. The healing power of naps is a quiet gift, a reminder that rest can be woven into the fabric of your waking hours, offering comfort and clarity when you need it most. You may remember the naps of childhood, the way the world would grow quiet in the afternoon, the hush that settled over the house as you drifted into sleep. For children, naps are a natural part of growth, a way for the body and mind to process the wonders and challenges of each new day. The rhythms of youth are marked by these pauses, these moments of surrender that make space for learning, for healing, for joy. As you grow older, the need for naps may change, but the power of a brief rest remains. The body, always seeking balance, sometimes calls for a pause, a chance to step away from the demands of the day, to let the mind and muscles recover. A nap can be a gentle reset, a way to clear the fog of fatigue, to return to your tasks with renewed energy and focus. The science of napping reveals its quiet magic. Even a short nap, as brief as 10 or 20 minutes, can improve alertness, mood, and memory. The brain, given a chance to rest, is better able to process information, to solve problems, to create. The body, too, benefits from the pause. Heart rate slows, stress hormones decrease, and the immune system is gently supported. Longer naps, those that last 30 to 60 minutes, can bring deeper rest, allowing the body to move through the lighter stages of sleep. These naps can be especially helpful when you are recovering from illness, when the night's rest has been disrupted, or when the demands of life have left you feeling depleted. The mind, given time to wander, may even slip into the world of dreams, weaving new connections, finding new insights. Yet the timing and length of a nap matter. A nap taken too late in the day can make it harder to fall asleep at night, disrupting the delicate balance of your circadian rhythm. Naps that are too long can leave you feeling groggy, caught in the inertia of deep sleep. The sweet spot for most is a nap of 20 to 30 minutes, taken in the early afternoon, when the body's natural energy dips and the mind is most receptive to rest. The environment you create for your nap is as important as the nap itself. A quiet, comfortable space, free from distractions, can help you surrender more easily. The gentle weight of a blanket, the softness of a pillow, the dimming of lights all become part of the ritual, a way of signaling to your body that it is safe to let go, even for a short while. Napping is not just a matter of biology, but of culture as well. In some parts of the world, the afternoon siesta is a cherished tradition, a time when work and activity pause and the whole community rests together. In other places, naps are seen as a luxury, a rare indulgence in a busy life. Yet the wisdom of the nap is universal recognition that the body and mind are not machines, but living systems that need care, attention, and renewal. You may notice that your own need for naps changes with the seasons of your life. During times of stress, illness, or change, the body may call for more frequent pauses, more moments of rest. At other times, a nap may be a rare treat, a way to savor a quiet afternoon, to step away from the rush of the world. By listening to your own rhythms, by honoring your need for rest, you can make naps a source of healing, rather than a cause for guilt or worry. There is a gentle art to napping, a skill that can be cultivated with practice. The key is to approach it with kindness, to let go of the idea that rest must be earned, that productivity is the only measure of worth. By making space for naps, by allowing yourself to pause, you are honoring the wisdom of your own body, the quiet intelligence that knows when it is time to rest. Naps can also be a way to reconnect with yourself, to find a moment of peace in a busy day. The act of lying down, of closing your eyes, of letting your thoughts drift, can be a form of meditation, a way to return to the present, to remember what it feels like to be cared for. In the quiet of a nap, you may find clarity, inspiration, or simply the comfort of being at ease. For those who struggle with sleep at night, naps can be both a blessing and a challenge. A brief rest can ease the burden of fatigue, but too much daytime sleep can make it harder to find rest when the night comes. The balance is delicate, a dance between the needs of the moment and the rhythms of the day. By paying attention, by experimenting with timing and length, you can find the pattern that works best for you. As you lie in the quiet, the world paused for a moment. You may feel the gentle power of the nap, a softening of tension, a lightening of mood, a sense of being restored. The healing power of naps is not just in the sleep itself, but in the permission you give yourself to rest, to step away, to be renewed. In the architecture of your day, naps are a hidden room, a place of refuge and renewal. By making space for these pauses, by honoring your need for rest, you create a life that is more balanced, more resilient, more joyful. The healing power of naps is always available, a quiet gift waiting to be received. Sleep is a universal need, yet the ways we approach it are as varied as the landscapes of the earth. Across continents and centuries, cultures have shaped their own rituals, beliefs, and traditions around the night's rest. The story of sleep is not just written in biology, but in the customs and comforts that people create, each one a reflection of what it means to be human. You may find it comforting to know that, wherever you are, Someone else is also preparing for sleep, perhaps. In a bustling city, perhaps in a quiet village, perhaps beneath a sky filled with unfamiliar stars. The rituals that guide us into rest are both deeply personal and beautifully shared, a thread that connects you to the wider world. In some places, the day is divided by a sacred pause. The siesta, cherished in Spain and many Latin cultures, is more than a nap. It is a way of honoring the body's natural rhythms, a communal agreement that rest is as important as work. Shops close, streets grow quiet, and families gather for a midday meal, followed by a gentle surrender to sleep. The world slows, and the afternoon is softened by the gift of renewal. In Japan, the tradition of inamuri, sleeping while present, reflects a different relationship with rest. It is not uncommon to see people dozing on trains, in offices, or even during meetings. Far from being a sign of laziness, inamuri is seen as evidence of dedication, a mark of someone who works hard and lives fully. Sleep is woven into the fabric of daily life, a resource to be drawn upon whenever needed. In Scandinavian countries, the practice of friluftsliv, open-air living, extends to sleep as well. Babies nap outdoors, bundled against the cold, their cribs set on balconies or in gardens. The fresh air is believed to strengthen the body and calm the mind, and the tradition continues through childhood and beyond. The connection to nature, the embrace of the elements, becomes part of the architecture of rest. In many African communities, sleep is a communal affair. Families and friends gather together, sharing mats or beds, the boundaries between self and other softened by the closeness of night. Stories are told, songs are sung, and the night is filled with the gentle sounds of breathing, laughter, and dreams. The sense of belonging, of being held by the group, is as important as the rest itself. The rituals of sleep are shaped by climate, by history, by belief. In hot countries, people may rise before dawn, work through the cool hours, and rest during the heat of the day. In places where the sun barely sets, blackout curtains and eye masks become essential tools, helping to create the darkness that signals the body to sleep. In regions where winter nights are long, the rituals of light candles, fires, warm drinks become a way to bring comfort and ease to the hours of rest. Religious and spiritual traditions also shape the way people approach sleep. In some cultures, prayers are said before bed, blessings are given, and dreams are seen as messages from the divine. The act of preparing for sleep becomes a sacred ritual, a way of connecting to something larger than oneself. The night is not just a time for rest, but a time for reflection, for gratitude, for hope. You may notice how your own rituals are shaped by the culture around you. The foods you eat before bed, the stories you tell, the way you arrange your room, all are influenced by the traditions you inherit, the community you belong to, the world you move through. Even the language you use to talk about sleep, rest, slumber, shut-eye, repose carries echoes of history and meaning. In the modern world, the culture of sleep is changing. The demands of work, the glow of technology, the pace of life can make it harder to honor the rhythms of rest. Yet there is a growing recognition of the importance of sleep, a return to the wisdom of rituals and routines. Sleep clinics, mindfulness practices, and sleep-friendly workplaces are becoming more common, reflecting a new understanding of what it means to care for the body and mind. Travel can be a window into the culture of sleep. You may find yourself adjusting to new rhythms, new sounds, new ways of preparing for rest. The unfamiliar becomes an invitation to notice what comforts you, what helps you let go, what rituals you carry with you wherever you go. In these moments, you are reminded that sleep is both a personal journey and a shared experience, a way of connecting to the world and to yourself. There is beauty in the diversity of sleep traditions, a reminder that there is no single right way to rest. The rituals that soothe you may be different from those of your neighbors, your ancestors, your friends across the sea. What matters most is the intention, the care you bring, the kindness you offer, the willingness to honor your own needs. As you lie in the quiet, you may feel the presence of all those who are also preparing for sleep, the mother singing a lullaby, the elder lighting a candle, the child drifting off beneath the open sky. The culture of sleep is a tapestry, woven from countless threads, each one a story of comfort, of renewal, of hope. In the architecture of your night, the traditions you keep become part of the foundation, a source of strength and belonging. By honoring your own rituals, by learning from the wisdom of others, you create a space where rest is possible, where dreams are welcomed, where the night becomes a time of healing and peace. Rest is a universal need, yet the ways we approach sleep are as varied as the landscapes we inhabit. Across continents and centuries, cultures have shaped their own rituals, beliefs, and customs around the night. The story of sleep is not just written in biology, but in tradition, a tapestry woven from the wisdom of ancestors, the rhythms of daily life, and the dreams of entire communities. You may find comfort in knowing that the desire for rest, for renewal, is shared by people everywhere. Yet the ways in which sleep is honored, protected, and celebrated can look very different from one place to another. In some cultures, the night is divided into segments, with waking hours woven between periods of rest. In others, the afternoon. Pausa siesta is as sacred as the night itself, a time when the world slows and the body is invited to recover. In Spain and many parts of Latin America, the siesta is a cherished tradition. As the sun reaches its peak and the heat of the day settles in, shops close, streets grow quiet, and families retreat indoors. For a few hours, the demands of work and activity are set aside, replaced by rest, conversation, and sometimes a gentle nap. This midday break is not just about sleep, but about honoring the body's natural rhythms, about making space for connection and renewal. In Japan, the practice of inamuri, sleeping while present, reflects a different relationship with rest. It is not uncommon to see people dozing on trains, in offices, or even during meetings. Far from being a sign of laziness, inamuri is often seen as evidence of dedication, a mark of someone who works hard and gives their all. The boundaries between sleep and wakefulness are more fluid, and the need for rest is acknowledged, even in public spaces. In Scandinavian countries, the tradition of putting babies outside to nap is a testament to the belief in fresh air and the healing power of nature. Bundled warmly, infants are placed in prams on balconies or in gardens, left to sleep in the crisp air. Parents trust that the outdoors will strengthen their children, that the rhythms of nature will support healthy sleep. This practice, passed down through generations, is a reminder that rest is not just about darkness and silence, but about connection to the world around us. In some African communities, sleep is a communal affair. Families and even entire villages may sleep together in shared spaces, the boundaries between individuals softened by the closeness of others. The night is a time for storytelling, for songs, for the passing down of wisdom. Dreams are shared. In the morning, their meanings discussed and woven into the fabric of daily life. Sleep is not a solitary act, but a collective experience, a way of strengthening bonds and nurturing the spirit, the Mediterranean tradition of the riposo and extended. Lunch break followed by rest echoes the rhythms of the siesta, but with its own flavor. Meals are leisurely. Time is taken to savor food and company, and the afternoon is given over to relaxation. The pace of life slows, and the body is allowed to recover before the evening's activities begin. This approach to rest is a reminder that sleep is not just a necessity, but a pleasure, a gift to be enjoyed. In the Middle East, the call to prayer shapes the rhythms of the day and night. The faithful rise before dawn, their prayers marking the transition from sleep to wakefulness. The day is punctuated by moments of reflection, of stillness, of connection to something greater. The night, too, is honored with rituals that prepare the body and mind for rest. The boundaries between sacred and ordinary time are blurred, and sleep becomes part of a larger spiritual journey. In the United States and many Western countries, the culture of sleep has often been shaped by the demands of productivity. The ideal of the 8-hour night is held up as a standard, and sleep is sometimes seen as an obstacle to achievement, a luxury to be sacrificed in the pursuit of success. Yet even here, there is a growing recognition of the importance of rest, of the need to reclaim the night as a time for healing and renewal. Modern science has begun to validate what many cultures have long known, that sleep is essential, that its quality is shaped by the environment, by routine, by the stories we tell ourselves about what it means to rest. The rituals and traditions that surround sleep are not just quaint customs, but powerful tools for supporting health and well-being. May find inspiration in these global traditions, in the ways that people everywhere have learned to honor the night. Perhaps you will create your own rituals, drawing from the wisdom of many cultures, a midday pause, a bedtime story, a moment of reflection before sleep. The act of caring for yourself, of making space for rest, is a way of connecting to the larger human family, to the shared need for renewal. As you lie in the quiet, you may feel the presence of all those who have come before you, all those who have sought rest under the same sky. The culture of sleep is a living tradition, one that you are part of, one that you can shape and pass on. By honoring your own need for rest, by creating rituals that support your well-being, you become a keeper of this wisdom, a participant in the great story of sleep. The traditions of the world remind us that there is no single right way to rest. Each culture, each family, each individual finds their own path, their own rhythm, their own way of welcoming the night. What matters most is the intention, the willingness to listen to your body, to honor your needs, to make space for renewal. In the architecture of your night, the culture of sleep is both foundation and adornment, a source of strength, a gesture of care, a quiet invitation to let go. The choices you make, the rituals you keep, the stories you tell yourself about rest all become part of the tapestry of your sleep, a gift you give to yourself, night after night. You may have followed every ritual, honored every tradition, and still, some mornings arrive with a heaviness that lingers. The sheets are warm, the room is quiet, the hours of sleep have been counted and kept, yet you wake not refreshed, but weary, as if the night's promise has slipped quietly away. This is a puzzle that many know well, the surprising, sometimes frustrating experience of waking tired after what seems like a full night's sleep. The reasons for this are as layered as the night itself. Sleep is not simply a matter of hours, but of depth, of quality, of the intricate dance between body, mind, and environment. Even when you spend enough time in bed, the journey through the cycles of sleep may be interrupted, the architecture of your night subtly altered by forces both seen and unseen. Sometimes, the answer lies in the hidden agitators, those sleep disorders that move quietly through the night. Sleep apnea, restless legs, or frequent awakenings may fragment your rest, pulling you from the deeper stages where true renewal happens. You may not remember these interruptions, but your body does, carrying the weight of unfinished repair into the morning. Other times, the culprit is stress, that silent companion that lingers long after the day is done. Worry and anxiety can keep the mind restless, the body tense, even as you sleep. The cycles of rest are lighter, the dreams more vivid, the sense of peace more elusive. The body, always listening, responds to these signals, shaping the night in ways that are felt but not always seen. The environment, too, plays its part. Light that seeps through curtains, sounds that drift in from the street. A room that is too warm or too cold all can nudge you from the deeper stages of sleep, leaving you hovering at the surface, never quite sinking into the depths where healing happens. The senses, always alert, shape the quality of your rest, even as you dream. The rhythms of your body may also be out of sync with the world around you. The circadian clock, that ancient timekeeper within, can be thrown off by late nights, early mornings, travel, or shift work. When your internal rhythm is misaligned with the cycles of light and dark, sleep may come at the wrong time, or not deeply enough, leaving you tired even after a full night in bed. Nutrition and movement, too, are woven into this tapestry. What you eat when you move, how you care for your body during the day all shape the invitation to sleep, the quality of your rest, the energy you carry into the morning. A body that is nourished, gently exercised, and cared for is more likely to find the deep, renewing sleep it needs. Sometimes the reason is more subtle still. The mind, carrying the weight of unspoken feelings, unfinished business, or quiet grief, may keep you from the deepest rest. The heart, longing for connection or comfort, may stir in the night, shaping dreams and waking with a sense of longing. Sleep is not just a physical act, but an emotional and spiritual one, as well. A time for healing, for integration, for letting go. There are also times when the body is fighting an unseen battle, an illness just beginning, an immune system at work, a process of healing that is not yet complete. The body, wise and attentive, may use the night for deeper work, leaving you tired as it repairs and restores. This fatigue is not a failure, but a sign that your body is caring for you, even as you sleep. The surprising reason you wake tired, then, is rarely just one thing. It is the sum of many small influences, the interplay of body, mind, and world. Sleep is a living process, shaped by your choices, your environment, your emotions, and your health. The journey through the night is unique each time, a reflection of the life you are living, the care you are giving, the needs you are carrying. There is comfort in knowing that you are not alone in this experience. Many have felt the same frustration, the same longing for rest that truly restores. The path to deeper sleep is not always straight, but it is always worth exploring with curiosity, with patience, with a willingness to listen to your own needs. You may find that small changes make a big difference. Honoring your rituals, creating a sanctuary for sleep, tending to your body's needs, and seeking support when needed all can help to restore the balance, to invite the deeper rest you seek. Sometimes the answer is found in letting go of perfection, in accepting that some nights will be restless, some mornings slow, and that this, too, is part of being human. A surprising reason you wake tired is a reminder that sleep is not a simple transaction, but a relationship, a conversation between your body and your life, your mind and your world. By tending to this relationship with care, by honoring your own rhythms, by seeking help when needed, you can find your way back to the heart of rest. As you lie in the quiet, you may feel the gentle presence of all the forces that shape your night, the rituals you keep, the environment you create, the care you offer yourself. Each is a thread in the tapestry of your sleep, a part of the story that unfolds each night. The journey is ongoing, the invitation always renewed, the promise of rest always waiting to be claimed. And so, as the night deepens and the world grows still, you find yourself wrapped in the gentle hush that follows a journey well traveled. The questions that once lingered at the edge of sleep have softened, their edges smoothed by understanding and care. You have wandered through the hidden architecture of your night, listened to the secret music of your mind and body, and discovered the quiet wisdom that lives within you. There is no need to hurry now. The path to rest is always open, always waiting, always welcoming you home. Each breath, each gentle heartbeat is a reminder that you are cared for, that renewal is possible, that peace is never far away. The night holds you in its quiet embrace, and you are free to let go, to drift. To dream dot, may you carry this softness with you into sleep, into morning, into all the days and nights to come. Rest well.